Welcome to Lake Orta in northern Italy. I'm about to go over to the island of San Giulio. Legend has it that this island in the Middle Ages was a rock infested with dragons. When in 390 AD, Giulio, who would later become St. Julius, came to Orta, no boatman wanted to take him to the island for fear of the creatures that lived there. So he laid his cloak on the water, climbed onto it and rowed with his stick to the rock. He drove away all the dragons, and here he founded his 100th church. Well, I'll leave that to your imagination. The Basilica San Giulio is a Roman Catholic church. It was the 100th and last church founded by Julius of Navarra and his brother Julian, both from Greece. They dedicated their later years to the area around Lake Orta. The population of the island probably dates back to the 6th century. The church and castle were comprised of several buildings located along the road travelled by pilgrims and merchants who came from France and Italy. The island offers strategic and defensive positions. In the years 957 and 962, we're back on the mainland now, and we're just having a wander around San Giulio. How on earth did they build that church up there? Just time for a small drink and a bite to eat before we finally go back to the hotel.
Hallo?
It's good to see you, thanks.
It's an early start today. We've got a long day ahead of us. We've been travelling for quite a while and the scenery has been absolutely fantastic. We've now crossed over the border and we are in Switzerland. Zermatt is a vehicle-free town, and the only vehicles allowed in are electric taxis, buses or four-legged friends and bicycles. So we had to park quite a way out of town and you get the train into it. From here we'll be getting on the cog railway and going up towards the Matterhorn. Well, we're on the train and that's where we're aiming for. Well, we've had a very nice lunch and now we've time to wander around and just look at this beautiful scenery. The Matterhorn is a famous mountain located in the Pennine Alps, on the borders between Switzerland and Italy. It's one of the most recognisable peaks in the world, known for its pyramid shape with 4 sharp edges and its challenging climbing route. It's a popular destination not only for mountaineers but also tourists, offering breathtaking views of the surrounding region. One of the most notable features of the Matterhorn is its association with the history of alpinism. It was one of the last great alpine peaks to be climbed in the 19th century, and the first successful ascent in 1865 marked a significant milestone in the history of mountaineering. However, it is also infamous for its treacherous conditions, and many climbers have lost their lives attempting to conquer it. The shape of the Matterhorn was also the reason the Toblerone chocolate bar was shaped as it is. No matter what way you look, the scenery is absolutely beautiful. You can just imagine what it must be like in the middle of winter when it's snowed and it's white. It's been absolutely wonderful being here. Now we're on our way back to Italy and Lake Orta, so I'm just going to sit back and look at the scenery. It's been a very long day, but well worth it.
So here we are back.
The gardens were established in 1931 to 1940 by a Scotsman, Neil Boyd McKeeshan, who bought an existing villa and its neighbouring estates. He cut down more than 2,000 trees and undertook the changes to the landscape, including the major water features. He named the villa after an ancestor, Etienne Jacques Joseph Alexander MacDonald, named the Duke of Toronto by Napoleon. The gardens were open to the public in 1952, and after his death in 1964, it has been run by a non-profit making organisation. Martin Neal died on the 18th of April 1964, and his remains now rest, together with those of the family of his administrator, in the Mausoleum Chapel specially built in the gardens. The stained glass windows are absolutely beautiful. We've taken the short bus ride to come to the town of Urbana and have a walk along the lake. It's a shame that the heat haze in the distance is there, but it's still beautiful views. We're just going to take time off to have a drink before we have to get back on the coach. It's been very pleasant walking along by the side of the lake. The ducks have had a change of scenery. They're trying out our swimming pool while the storm carries on overhead. We had a very nice morning relaxing by the lake, but the rain chased us in. Isola Bella is one of the Borromeo Islands of Lake Maggiore. It's an island situated in the Borromeo Gulf, 400 metres from the lakeside town of Stresa. It's divided between a palace, Italian garden and a small fishing village. Until 1632 the island was known only as Isola. It was a rocky crag occupied by a tiny fishing village. But that year Carlo III of the House of Borromeo began construction of a palace dedicated to his wife Isabella, for whom the island takes its name. He entrusted the works to an Italian from Milan. However, it took many years and a few generations to finally complete the work, and it was inaugurated in 1671. In 1935, between the 11th and the 14th of April, an historic event took place in the palace. Around a large central table, the Stresa Conference was held. The conference was attended by the head of the Italian government, Benito Mussolini, the French Minister of Foreign Affairs Pierre Laval, and the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, representing the Allied nations that had won the First World War. The conference was held to discuss the repeated violations of the Versailles Treaty by Adolf Hitler. It forbade Germany to rearm, to reintroduce compulsory military service, and Hitler openly violated such prohibitions and actually threatened to annex Austria to Germany. The conference issued a document of intent, a copy of which is still held, condemning Germany's violations to the Treaty of Versailles and reporting the danger of German conduct to the independence of Austria. Essentially, the conference was the last chance and the missed one to try and maintain balance of peace in Europe. The grotto was started in 1865 and took almost 100 years to complete. It serves the purpose to provide a cool and cupboard-like refuge in the summer heat, and they connect the palace to the garden. I've been to the gardens a couple of times before, so this is just a short look around. As always, they are really beautiful, and it seems hard to imagine how long they've been here. Heading back now to pick up the ferry to our next port of call. Isola Pescatori, Fisherman's Island. This is my first visit and it looks very interesting. The little shops either side of these lanes selling all types of wares. The restaurants, the cafes and the snack bars. Not forgetting the odd ice cream parlour either. As you can imagine, most of the restaurants, the cafes and bars are pretty full, but we did find somewhere to have a nice snack and a drink before I started to roam the cobbles and these lanes. It's all so picturesque and interesting. Little side passages that lead down to somewhere. Considering how close everywhere is, it doesn't seem overcrowded. That is one very angry mother. Ooh, I wonder what he's done. Well, there's the ferry come to take us back to Stresa. So it's the end of our visit to Fisherman's Island. back at Stresa, and we've just got a short time while we wait for the coach to come and pick us up. So I'm just going to have a little wander around. There's a view of Isola Bella. Well, we're on the coach and on our way back to Lake Orta. The final trip of the day, and the final trip of the holiday in fact. Tomorrow we go home. It's been a fantastic holiday. Here we are back at Lake Orta.